Season 2.
Season 2.
RootPurpose podcast.
It sounds so good. It sounds so good.
Amazing, immaculate.
Episode number 1.
Of season 2.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I just want to start off by saying thank you to everybody that rocked with us last year, or especially from the beginning of this whole endeavor. I've really been working towards this since like 2020. Happy that we've made, this much ground, despite all the obstacles that we faced last year. Happy to be back for season 2. Without further ado, we have myself, Chip, and we have the co-host, Josh, also known as
an urban nerd, all one word. Man, we really do want to thank you all, those that have not only just been supporters, been listeners, avid listeners, but really just been checking in. Like, there's a lot of people who check in and been like, yo, man, giving love, talking about, humble beginnings, where we were at. So it feels like a great way that we can like transition in the new year as well as transition into a new season. So it's an amazing time for us, man. And so look, just like y'all know, because y'all not new to this, y'all true to this, like every episode, we got our check-in.
Every episode, checking in.
So with this, as we come to a close for 2023, of course, we first ask, how are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? We try to use a filling word to describe that for ourselves. But the check-in question is, what are you leaving in 2023? So I'm going to kick us off. I feel like right now I've been under the weather, so I keep floating between like a 7 and an 8. I'm getting over being sick. Shout out to my students. Just everybody been passing around bugs right now, so it's not just them. But
keep your bugs
overall,
to yourself.
Keep your germs to yourself. Overall, I'm good. I'm blessed. It's the holidays. I get to enjoy some time off. I can't complain. Man, this is a good one. What are we leaving in 2023? I want to leave. It's interesting. I want to leave doubt. And I think there's a lot of ways I could kind of trace back to that, but there's times I find myself doubting myself in plenty of things. A big thing I'm trying to do is be more creative, but it's when I'm doubting like my performance, when I'm doubting like taking up space. Like, I feel like there's different ways that I doubt myself, and it stood out to me at a performance I was at. I was invited to come perform, and I was really shrinking in the space. And one of my friends had to point it out, like, "Why are you acting like this?" I was like, "I don't know." Like, thank you for reminding me. And I realized the root was doubt. So I want to really step into my own, believe in what I've accomplished, remind myself what I've accomplished. And stop doubting myself and playing small, because we ain't got no room for that in 2024. So yeah. What about you, Drew?
That's a good one. I was gonna say what I like to leave. I want to leave the way that I responded to fear.
Ooh.
The response to fear when it presented itself.
Yeah.
Because the response was usually stress, anxiety, which wasn't any type of good. Never ended in a good situation or scenario. I think 2023 was the year where I started to use the tools that I was learning, that I had, and learning of tools that I could use, and actually executing them and putting them to use. So 2023 was good to practice it, but now I just want to leave the way that I was reacting to fear. Because it just wasn't doing anything for me. And not to say just not to be afraid anymore, but just to clarify that, not to say that I'll never be afraid of something or experience fear, just the way that I respond to it. Yeah, man. Because I mean, we
It's
had a lot of things going. Like you said, hitting on
oof,
what you said about doubt,
yeah, yeah,
um, and how that can affect us. It can cause us to shrink.
yeah,
Um, in many spaces, like when you like lose your confidence in a way that you don't expect, it really affects all areas of your life. And I think that's one of the things that
yeah,
I experienced from like 2020 all through 2022. Like there was a few years I just really felt like it was off, like I wasn't myself.
yeah,
And I think 2023 coming into 2024, I'm finally like meeting myself again. Like, hey man, it's been a minute since we was together. Like me and my, real self,
yeah.
the person that I would be if I was just comfortable with myself. Like, yo. So yeah,
It's so real because like something that you said that reminded me is when I have those thoughts of doubt and I have those thoughts, I'm thinking about it. A part of it could be rooted in fear as well. Um,
yeah,
and now I'm learning. I'm really having to learn to speak kinder to myself. There's times that I would be like,
yep.
I would have a thought, and I'd be like, oh, shut up. Like I would just really shut it up and try to shush it. But when
Self
I
talk, yeah.
someone else had pointed out, they're like, it's not just trying to quiet the voice, like it's listening to it, like giving it space and like releasing it, which is really hard to do when you have the doubt, whatever, or the fear, whatever is going on in the back of your mind. It's easy to just throw it back and be like, no, that's not a thought that I want to entertain. Throw it back to the back of my mind. Um, but when I'm like, okay, I heard this, I've accepted it, it has no power over me, right? I've acknowledged it
Mm,
and I'll let it go. You know, like like even when you're talking about the moments of having to acknowledge the fear, because you're still gonna have it there, right? But not react the way that's huge. You know, in saying I can control how I react to it, though. Um, definitely, I that's a good one. That's a good one.
yeah, man. So I mean, with that, um, just what we want to leave in 2023 is like I think it's always important to highlight. So, what is the actual plan? What do you see for yourself for 2024? Like, what are the goals that you have? What do you look forward to doing? Um,
Yeah. So I feel like I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I realized I think I had one of my like most powerful performances in 2023. And I was doing a poem. I had to follow up after someone who had just like tore the roof off the mug, like shut the place down, had people like mosh pitting. And I realized like that's what I want. I think I want, not I think, I do want more opportunities to challenge myself, um, as far as my creativity. So I definitely want more opportunities to challenge myself in my music and my poetry, as well as my visual art. Um, and I want it to be impactful because that's what made that performance for me so real was how much I realized it impacted a lot of people that were there while I was performing. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was scary. Like there was some fear in that because like I never performed like that and had like people react the way that they did. So I kind of just like dipped the space real quick and I just like left. But now like after talking and being able to like, have some time, I was like, no, I want more of those moments where I can like, you know, someone can ask me to do a certain poem and I can really like write this and share this and it'll be impactful. And I realized that's what I want my art to do. So I really want to remind myself, um, to make an impact with my creativity and my art. So yeah, yeah. Look, look.
Usually, people are like, "Yo, 2024, new year, new me. I'm trying to lose weight." The usual list. And
No,
I'm just like,
I
it's like, no,
look.
I actually have something of substance. Not
If I gotta
no,
stop
I was just
myself
playing.
from
Not say
doubting it,
those.
I
are
know
important.
from playing small, I'm like, I got to. I'm like, all right, well, this is what I got to do, right, for the next year. Um, yeah, why not? Um, yeah, what you gotta do more? What your goals in 2024?
Yo, bro, I was sitting too much in 2023. Got a lot done, grew a lot in a lot of ways, but health wise, bro, I was sitting too much. I'm trying to move more.
Yeah,
Um, Not just like in terms of activity, but like just lifestyle wise. Just movement needs to be a part of the lifestyle, and not
word.
necessarily just using movement as a means to lose weight or reach some type of goal. The goal is
Yeah.
movement. So on that note, last year actually I saw this really dope program that opened up. It was a yoga
Okay.
program, I believe, for men, or it was targeting men, um, down here in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, called the Urban Yoga Program. 8-week comprehensive yoga program that they go into the practices of yoga, stretching, meditating, breath work, and I was just like, wow, these are all the things I low key been doing on my own, but that looks like a community that one is not seen a lot because again, you don't see men practicing these types of activities a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a very powerful idea program. So I was luckily able to get in the next cohort that starts this year in January. So I'm excited to be able to be a part. So I'm looking forward to that being a catalyst to naturally it forces you because it's like, hey, it's on my calendar. There are
Yeah.
other people
Yeah.
there. It's like I signed up for this. I committed
Yeah.
to it. So hopefully that further leads into it not just stopping after the program's done, but connecting with the people that are looking to continue and you know keep going
Yeah.
from there. But
No,
so yeah, I'm excited
definitely.
to just move more, dog. Just move more.
Now you also, while you talking about moving, you also be dancing and whatnot. Are we going to be seeing more dancing in 2024?
Bro, I never stopped dancing. The thing
That's fair.
is, the level of dance I'm able to do without something breaking on my body is the
I
reason I
hear
need to
you.
move more and
I hear
stretch
you.
more
I
specifically.
hear you.
So yeah, I never stopped dancing, but it's like the level I like to enjoy it on. I haven't been able to do that for quite some time just because I've been ripping and running, working, and not really taking care of my body from a
I feel
physical
that.
standpoint. So yeah, man.
No, that's
So I'm
real.
always dancing.
This you talk about that too. Like the the movement is a big thing that we don't realize is attached right to our stress and anxiety, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I haven't moved because I've been in this chair in this screen. Like,
Release the chemicals.
it's cold, so I'm already bundled up in this blanket and hoodie. So
Yep.
like,
In the crib.
literally talking about needing to move in. And you said release the chemicals is real too. Like I need to get that lactic acid going. Um, that's real, and that's a dope. That's a dope. Even the group you're talking about having more black male movement spaces where we can practice that. That sounds amazing, man. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about
Shoot, me too.
that.
Yeah, besides that, man, the other two things, more time, more quality time with Crystal and the kids.
Word.
Um, because my thing is 2023 again got a lot better uh, about intention, but a lot of times I was still bringing the stress home from work, from projects, from external things, and I'm still working on not bringing that to the scenario when I'm playing like a board game with my daughter, and it's like something that was irking me from something that happened earlier in the day or something that's on my mind that I have to do
Yeah.
affects my mood while I'm playing with her. She's just trying to have a good time. I'm just sitting there like, okay, 30 more minutes before bedtime. I gotta,
Yeah. The countdown.
the
Yeah.
countdown. So it's like I actually want to be there, present, and look forward to those scenarios. Because after the fact, I always feel like the guilt. I was
Yeah.
like, I really did want to have fun with her. It's like, why wasn't I able to do that? And it was like, I'm doing too much. I'm out of sync.
Yeah.
Um, Got to manage this better. And then the last thing, man, sleep.
Man, look.
Plain and simple, man. I got a simple. I really simplified the goals that I want to focus on this year. Like, of course, I'm gonna make, how detailed I get with my goal setting. Like, you got the objective, the goal, and then
Yeah, yeah,
the strategies.
yeah,
But I really wanted to keep it simple because I feel like naturally, when I take care of these things, everything else will fall into place. And once, because these are the things that really attribute and contribute to my peace. There's that. I think I heard it saying something that always comes to mind of um, having the mindset of like, once I get this done, I'll be fine. I'll be at peace. Versus
yeah,
once I'm at peace, everything will be all right. Everything will fall into place. So I'm trying to
yeah,
work on the ladder. Like, what do I need to do to be at peace? And it's like, I need to move more. I need to sleep more. Everything else will fall into place. Like, I know what I need to do, but I need to handle this. So 2024, man, it's just about the mind, body, spirit, focus, the maintenance.
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. Definitely taking care of myself is up there. Um, it feels like it's a continuous battle for me. um, but like this past year, I can say, um, 2021 to 2022, I did not take care of myself at all. Like I needed to. So I
Yeah,
did I did more of it last year. Um, but it has been definitely shoot, even me driving, you know how I get down. I
yeah.
had to say
I was like,
I
I
had
be
to
thinking, I was
say
like, low key, he was like, he don't got kids, but he's still up there. Like, once you pass 30, like, your body's just different. And I'm just like, yo,
it's a combination of like my body, yes, because I got to be real about that, um, and like where I'm putting my energy. You know, I got to be honest about like where I'm putting that in the recovery time. It takes more time for me to recover if I'm gonna be driving. So I've had to say no to a lot of
yeah,
things. Like one of our boys popped up down the street, like I'm in Jersey, and I was like, I can't. Like I would love to, but I
down the
can't.
street.
I know. Yeah, but that's you know how it
I
is
was
down the
like, hold
street
up.
from me.
For those listening,
um,
this man is in Connecticut talking about, oh, down the
um,
street. Nah,
look, I be moving, but I had to sit still and yes, move my body instead.
down
So
the street.
yes,
Yikes.
very real, very real. Um, now look, speaking of making moves, um, we got some new announcements to make. Drew, you want to tell them a little bit about what we got going on?
What you talking about, dog? It's like, no.
So I was about to say,
Yeah. I've been working on my serious faces, especially for the girls. Like,
yo
so I just,
tell.
yeah, man. Nah, man. The dad jokes is not the only thing in the arsenal. That sarcasm's coming strong, and yeah, the serious faces. Yeah, I've been working on it all. Be ready, especially before they hit them teenage years.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have a tool belt. Yeah. Anyway, back to what he was talking about. So a very, very pivotal, I think, a relationship or aspect of me and Josh's relationship is the time that we spent within the National Society of Black Engineers, or NSBE for short.
Come on, come on.
Since since undergrad,
Yep.
um, really has put us in places that have places and situations and scenarios that have built our relationship based on the different levels of NSBE that we've participated in over the years. um, yeah, at the top of last year, we just had a lot of ideas around how do we continue to create spaces for creatives, um, and the creative that people may not realize, an entrepreneur in and of itself, like an entrepreneur and a creative, to me is kind of a synonym, a synonymous, just because the things that you have to make happen, make work. Uh, so just our own journey in entrepreneurship, we were just like, yo, how can we build something, create an environment or a space for people that we know, outside of, showcasing them on this platform. And we started just throwing out ideas. It's like, okay, we could do this. It was like, you know what are some big events that are coming up? Maybe we could try to submit a proposal or something of a sort to enhance something, or maybe introduce something in a way that they haven't seen before. Uh, we came up with the idea of an entrepreneurship collaborative,
Yeah, yeah,
because we immediately started hearing of all the people that we want to also bring on the podcast, of all the dope things that they're doing um, from an entrepreneurial perspective. And it was like, it'd be dope to bring us all together and just offer a showcase and overall experience to a group of people. How do we do that? And so naturally, we've been talking about Nesby a lot within our
yeah,
initial episodes in season one. We were like, well, how about we go back to our roots? How about we start in a place that helped instill a lot of the values and skills and a lot of things that have helped us propel ourselves to this point in our lives. It's like, boom, one of the things, like, let's submit a workshop. Let's submit a few workshops. Let's submit some ideas of some dope things that we can do to give a platform to a lot of the dope entrepreneurs that we collaborate with or planning on collaborating with. Uh, and so we found out, I would say November,
yeah,
that one of our
yeah.
workshops got accepted, specifically on entrepreneurship and creating your own lane, and how
Come
you
on,
do
come
that within
on,
entrepreneurship. So
come
we're
on.
super excited that um, we're moving in a direction that we're able to kind of, it's like a full circle moment
Yeah,
of a place that we used to go to get knowledge, to learn from people that came before us, um, about what next would look like. And so now we have the opportunity to provide that as well. So Nesby 50, and it's the 50th annual convention for
yep,
Nesby
yep,
in Atlanta, Georgia. We're super excited. Can't wait
yeah,
to touch down in ATL. Um, just reconnect too. It's going to be a reunion. I'm super
yeah,
excited um, for a lot of people listening. Like, Nesby's like a, for at least me and Josh. Well, for a lot of
yeah, yeah,
people, it's definitely a Nesby or a family reunion for us. So
yeah.
getting to
It's
connect with
it's
people, yeah.
man, it's really amazing because of course, the aspect of um, being able to step into leadership, community, like those are the first big things that I think of when I think about Nest because I actually had a community that could help support me in school, right? But outside of school was the big thing that I didn't expect because we talked about it before. Me being able to move to another state and just through Nesby meet some people, you know, meet some friends. So it definitely feels like a family reunion. But man, all the times that we've talked about us being creative and we know like one of our people doing something and we're like, whenever I'm doing things and people are like, man, Josh, you be doing the most. And I'm like, you don't know my friends. You don't know like the people I know that be making moves out here. So when you're thinking like really us being able to celebrate Nesby, bring people together that we can highlight that we've seen making moves,
Yep.
that really has just been doing
Yes.
some amazing things. And just like you really said, I mean, it's spot on, with that, Drew. When we say entrepreneurship, you really can't say that without being a creative, right? Because whether you create a program, a product, um, and whatever you're creating, like
Mm-hmm.
that core of that is you having that mindset, you having that spirit of doing something new, or revisioning what's called envisioning something new, a new way of doing something, right?
Right.
So it really is an exciting moment for us to not only go celebrate Nesby, yes, have like a family reunion, but be able to highlight some dope individuals that have been doing some amazing things. So yes, we are super geeked about that. And yeah, man, it's amazing to have like allow this podcast to be a vehicle that can lead to us like potentially doing a program with Nesby. So man, we geek. Yeah, I feel like we starting this year on some big energy. So definitely excited about that.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's a continuation of what we were trying to do in 2023.
Yeah,
And not to say that we didn't
yeah,
accomplish a good bit,
yeah, yeah,
um, but I know there was a few things that we've been working towards that I'm super excited to continue forth this year, like, virtual and in-person events,
yeah,
um, outside of, the convention we just mentioned. Um, and just more podcast episodes, obviously, but also with the introduction now of guests, people that
Yes,
we truly want
yes.
to highlight, and share their stories and really, just connect, um, learn from each other. Also, provide something that might click with somebody listening. That it might be the thing that finally tells you to go after the idea, or that we
Yeah,
hope that you can take from something that we did, or took a misstep or something, that you don't have to make that same mistake.
yeah.
Just ultimately taking the time to really get to the root, really take the time to have the conversations, and better
See,
communicate and connect with each other, really.
yeah. And when you pointed that out, I took the time to think about that too. So we had a couple of things that we still might do. We're potentially going to do something with our alma mater and do something with Nesby. And I didn't even see it as a loss, right? Because it didn't
Yeah,
happen. And you know how it is. You put together your energy towards this thing. You want the thing to happen. Thing falls through. Um, but it's always a lesson, right? Because you learn a lot from it. Despite it not happening, the preparation, the mindset, you molding that thing, it just becomes another. Um, I want to say it becomes the prototype for something else. um, and that was a big thing. Shoot, even like you said, us now, moving into doing more things virtual, doing other things that we're potentially looking at. Um, it helps you practice um, going into um, how you can approach these things and do these things. Funny enough, um, I actually had to pull a song last year, and I was tight at first. Of course, I was really
yeah,
hot.
yeah. I remember when you
Like
told me that.
I was upset, and now I'm like,
I would have been
well,
on
what did I?
fire, dog.
But what did I learn from that? Right? Um, I learned that I need to be better with my communication because yeah, I could have communicated better about what was going on with the song. I waited too long to put the song out, right? Which was I only had myself to blame. Um, However, when I did like start campaigning for that, and I started designing the cover, I started designing the rollout plan. I realized I needed to do that um, so I could think about the next thing. Because after doing the
Yeah,
rollout of it, after doing the design, the artwork, after I downloaded some apps, I was playing with a lot of stuff that I hadn't done in years since 2020, matter of fact. And I was like, I'm very upset I had to pull this, but and I'm more excited about the lessons I just learned because I have these things in my tool belt that I can utilize. I just needed the push to go do it. So I think about that with the events from last year, our time last year. Like there's a lot of lessons that we got,
yes,
and we only
yes,
stronger for it, man. Straight up.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy what's supposed to happen, what actually does happen.
yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to it, man. I'm gonna try one more time, dog. Howard Homecoming. I'm gonna try one more time this year
Look,
to
look.
actually. I think that was like the last thing. It was like, man.
Yeah,
Well, the last year I just wasn't able to make it. The year before, it was like just overdoing it. You
yeah,
know, um, just overdoing it and not being able to do everything that we planned to do. Because
yeah.
it's like again, taking care of the body. It was just like, man, yesterday was a lot. I actually need to sleep in. I am exhausted.
Look, it's very real, and that's why
So
even the
spacing things out.
spacing things out. What are the um you even how you are, right? Smart goals, right? What are some of those things that are like high end where if we got the energy and capacity to do it, what are the things that like are achievable? That's always good having those moments of like being realistic about um what's in your capacity. Because yeah, man, like I jokingly will be like, my body betrayed me, And it's like, no, my
How
body
dare
betrayed
you,
me. Yeah, literally, like,
traitor!
we going out
Gosh
whether
darn
we
it.
want to or not. And it's like, no, I don't have to. You're right. Like, it is okay. I can listen to my body, you know, and 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 pay it for the next time that I want to go do something. So, yeah,
Yeah, man. I think with that being said, though, like, yeah, definitely looking forward to 2024
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything we have in store. Um, we're gonna have guests coming on very soon in the near
yep.
future.
I just need to let the record show. We have not had guests yet. We got in trouble with some close friends who was like, "How
You
how
got in
how you
trouble.
gonna?" Oh,
They
you
didn't come to
said.
me. It's like, nah.
Well, someone was like, "How you gonna have guests and not have us on the show?" And I was like, "We ain't had no guests yet." Like,
Yeah,
so
it's just
yes,
been us.
if you are interested, however, yeah, feel free to let us know. We are very excited to be rolling out guests this season. We have some amazing individuals that we want to introduce you all to, and I do going back to what Drew said is we hope that you learn something, pick up something, um, and whether that's you being creative just to be creative, that is perfectly fine. That is what we are here for, to spread some knowledge, um, spread some new perspective, yeah, and inspire you to create yourself. So definitely looking forward to that this season.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to a lot of dope conversations, man. Just the aspect, I think, a lot of times, and it comes down to like the critical thinking aspect of a lot of things. Like, honestly, man, social media right now, and
Yeah,
I mean, we all see a lot of it is like immediately responding to a
yeah,
situation scenario without one, checking facts, two, like, is this the original video or graphic or photo? What actually happened? Taking the time to really go through that critical thinking process before responding, and
yeah,
just kind of the overall notion of having deep conversations and allowing for disagreement,
yeah,
not lead to further like aggression or argument, but for the sake of learning deeper
yeah,
perspectives, having the conversations, going past where you usually would stop.
yeah,
Because honestly, going to that level, that's where the actual connection to one another really truly happens. So I'm excited for a lot of those kind of conversations. Those are conversations I like having. Small talk, man, is
yeah,
it's painful. I'm not
yeah.
gonna hold you. It's uh, but
It can be exhausting. It really
yeah,
can be.
man, yeah. But again, thank you for everybody that's been with us since the beginning. For those that wherever you tuned in during our journey, just thank you for spending any of your time,
Yes,
or investing in us, or just listening. It's all
literally,
appreciated. Don't
you
take it
could
for
be
granted.
anywhere listening to anything. Um, and for me being in my music, when we can look at like numbers, um, someone I like how someone says it like, man, I got 10 listeners right now, and they're like, what? They're like, if I had 10 people in the room, that would be dope. And so it's good to put it in the real perspective of like us starting to where we come from. Just like Drew said, 2020, like we don't take none of that for granted. Like we are very appreciative, to get to this point. Even for us to be saying that we're doing a season two is still like surreal, but
Yeah.
definitely humbled and
Shoot, we made it to
appreciative.
season 2. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
look, yo,
How?
look, definitely appreciative of people that's rolled out, gave feedback, gave love, um, man, and we are excited of what 2024 has to offer.
Yeah, and with that, check out our website, rootpurpose.org. We got merch available again.
Oh
Hoodies,
snap!
t-shirts is
You see this
back
hoodie
up and
though?
running. Yep,
You
back
see
up
this
and
hoodie
running.
though?
So if you wasn't able to catch that first round back in 2022, we got it back this year. Podcasts can be found any podcast platform. Root Purpose Podcast, social media at Root Purpose, IG, TikTok, Twitter. Um, all of those things be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, we'll catch y'all next time.